We are now on day 3 of the 19-day Python challenge with a senior software engineer from Microsoft as your guide. If this is your first time here, make sure to check out our first 2 lessons so you don't miss any core concept. And if you have already been following along, we love that. Drop a hat in the comments if you are enjoying this series so far, and feel free to share any questions you have. We are here to help. Now let's dive into today's Python lesson and turn you into a pro one day at a time.
Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today's topic is Python operators. Rohit this side. Now let's start the video. So before starting telling about the Python operators, till now you have learned about what is Python, and you have also written your first Python program, Hello World. And you have learned about the very basics like variables, naming conventions, and the comments in the code, right? So these are the very basic things. So before telling you about the operators, let me give you some idea so that till now whatever you have learned, you will be able to relate and you will be able to understand why we are learning operators, what exactly this is, right? So let me share the whiteboard. Yeah. So when you talk about programming, right? When you talk about programming, what exactly that means, right? So in programming, we write some piece of code, and right now just think that this piece of code is just like a machine, For example, we go to a factory, right? We go to a factory. Let me try to relate this example. We go to a factory, and there is a machine in a factory which actually, is responsible to make paper machine. So this machine generates paper, right? Just think of your code also like that, right? So in your machine, what exactly do you do, right? From this machine, you expect some work to be done, right? Some work to be done. Now, what work exactly this machine is doing? It is creating paper for you. Similarly, just see this code, right, as a machine, right? Now, what this machine will do? This will take some input. It will work on the input, and then it will generate some output which you will get as the output of the code. Similarly, here if you are talking about a machine, it will take maybe wood as input, and in return it will do some work, it will work on it, and in output it will generate paper, right? So similarly in programming world as well, we want some input and we want to work on it. Now to want to work on it, you need operators, right? Because without operators, you can just print something, right? But you cannot work on the data, right? So for example, in the last video, I was giving you example of calculator, right? If you want to work on 2 data sets, A plus B, this plus is nothing but an operator, right? So I hope you get a basic idea about what programming is and where the operators comes into the picture. So operator is nothing but it gives a meaning to your code. It actually gives the actual logic. The actual algorithm is driven by operators only, right? So if we get back to the presentation, right? Operators, we are just trying to here relate it with the help of a wallet, right? So in this, those who are working professional, they get their salary, and slowly it keeps on starting reducing, right? You have some EMIs and all those stuff are there. So just think of the operators like the actions happening with your wallet, right? So what exactly happens is when you want to add money to your wallet, let's say your salary comes in. So when your salary comes into your wallet, what exactly happens? If you want to see, right, your bank balance, it gets added with the money, right? So what exactly happens is, let's say your money is X, it becomes X plus Y, where plus is nothing but an operator, right? It's an addition, it's a sum, right? Similarly, when you spend money, right, your EMI comes in, you go for a shopping, it will be kind of subtraction, right? Then if you have multiple wallets, right, your money will multiply, right? And when you share your money among friends. Whenever you go to the outing, you want to split it. It's nothing like you're dividing it, right? So that was just an example to relate what operators are exactly all about. So we have 7 different types of operators in Python. Arithmetic operator. We have the comparison operator. We have logical operator, assignment, bitwise, membership, and identity operator, right? So let's talk about each one of them in detail, right? So if you talk about arithmetic operators, these are used for mathematical calculations, right? So if you see this addition operator, right? If you see this addition operator, this addition operator is plus, right? You have seen in the calculator as well, right? So plus is used for addition, minus is used for subtraction, multiply is used for multiplication. This sign is used for division. This is used for floor division. Now what is the difference between division and floor division? We'll see it. This is used for finding the remainder. For example, if you divide 13 and you do, this is called as modulus 5. So if you divide 13 by 5, it becomes 2 point something, so it will be 2, and whatever is the remainder left, 3. So this is nothing but the output of this operator, right? So more you will get with the practice. So similarly, this is the exponent operator, like the power, right? A raised to power b, right? So you will get with the help of example. Let me show you. So Python division operator is like that one friend who always rounds down the bill when splitting in a dinner. So when you use that division operator, right, if it's like as I given the example, 13, if you divide it by 5, if you use this operator, divide operator, so basically what happens is it's 2 point something, right, but it's always 2. It's round down to a number, right? So it's like that. But in Python, so the division operator gives you the exact value, and the floor division gives you the lower floor value of that particular output, right? So imagine you are in a maths class and these operators are the basic maths tools you use to solve the problems. These are nothing but the arithmetic operators. So okay, now I get to know about arithmetic operators, but how to use them in Python, right? Let's see that. So in this particular slide, you can see if you declare 2 variables, these are nothing but variables. We have declared A with 10 and B with 3, right? So A is declared as 10 and B is declared as 3. If you want to do the addition of them, what you can do is you can use A plus B. A plus B, it will be 13, right? A plus B is 13. A minus B is 7. A divided by B will be 3.3, right? But if you see the floor division, if you see the last one, floor division, it will be 3 because it will take the lower value, floor value of that particular answer, right? Multiplication, 30. Modulus, if you divide 10 by 3, what will be the remainder? 1. So modulus is the remainder operator. Exponential, if you do 10 raised to power 3, 1000. So I hope all the arithmetic operators are clear to you. Great. Now let's see the second type of operator, comparison operators, right? So these are used to compare values, right? So if you see, double equal to is used to compare if 2 values are equal or not, right? And these comparison operators returns either true or false. True or false means if that information is right or wrong. So for example, let me give you an example. Let's say your A is equal to 10 and B is equal to also 10. Now if you see A double equals to B, that means you are comparing both of them. So what will it give, true or false? Both are equal, it will return true. The value of this will be true. And if B will be 3, what will it return? False, because they are not equal. So this is how comparison operators are used. So similarly, if you see not equal to, that means it will compare both the values, and if they will not be equal, it will return true, otherwise false. Greater than, it will compare if the left side number A is greater than B, then it will return true, otherwise false. Similarly, less than, greater than, equal to, less than. So the equal to operator in Python is like a relationship status on social media, right? If it's true, you are in love with your code. If it's false, you are wondering what went wrong, right? So it's as simple as there are some codes, some funny codes given by the Python creators, Python authors, right? So yeah, they are just trying to compare these things, these operators, and even in the last particular videos you might have seen, they are trying to compare these things with the real life terminologies, right? So these operators are like like comparison shopping. You are comparing two items to see which one is better, right? So now how to use that in the code, right? If you see A double equals to B, right? Let's say the value of A is 10 and B is 3. So is 10 double equals to 3? Are they equal? No, false. Is 10 not equal to 3? Yes, it will be true. Is 10 greater than 3? True. Is 10 less than 3? False. Is 10 greater than equal to 3? True. Is 10 less than equal to 3? False. Right. So now let's talk about the third type of operators, which are logical operators. So before that, let's see them with the help of code, whatever we have learned so far. So if you see here, let's say I declare A to be 10, B to be 3, and let's say I'm printing A double equals to B. Let's see. So it gives false because they are not equal. And if I give A not equal to 3, what will it print? It will print true because they are not equal. If I say A greater than B, true because 10 is greater than 3. So similarly, so these are the comparison operators. If you want to use arithmetic operators, if I do A divide by B, it will give 3.333. If I use the floor division, you remember floor division? Let's go back and let me show you. You remember this? Two slashes, two forward slash. If I use this, what will happen? It will give the floor value, which is 3. I hope it's clear. Similarly, if you do plus, what will it give? 10 plus 3, 13. Right? So I hope you are clear with arithmetic and comparison operators. Now let's move to the next type of operators, which are logical operators. So these are used into the decision making, right? They help you determine what happens based on the multiple conditions. So yeah, this is again some quote from the Tom Long, right, who was a tech blogger. They said that these logical operators, so and or are two of the logical operators. So what he says is that they are like the two best friends. So one is optimistic, which says that everything is possible. So or operator is used when you are comparing conditions. But if any one of them is true, it will say it's possible, it's true. But the AND operator says that if all of them is true, only then it will happen, right? So more you will get to know with the examples, right? So the AND operator returns true if both conditions are true. So logical operators also returns true or false, just like the comparison operators, but they are helpful in making decisions. How? So if you see the AND operator, it returns true if both the conditions are true. If two conditions are given, if both will be true, only then it will return true, right? Or will return true if any of the condition is true. Any one of the condition is true. And not is another logical operator which reverses the state. If it will be true, it will make it false, right? So for example, like let's say the Scotty comes, check this out, and they says these are the two doors, right? And you have two keys, one gold key and one silver key, right? Door 1 needs both of the keys, golden as well as silver, and the door 2 needs either. So which logical operator will be used for both the keys in the door 1? Just pause the video and think about it. It needs both, right? So it will need and the other one will need or, because any one of them will work for it, right? So first one needs both the keys, key 1 and key 2. Second one needs either of them, key 1 or key 2, right? So the logical operators comes in handy when working with Python, right? So if you see this is the example. So let's see this with an example. So earlier we have print a greater than b using the comparison operator, right? So what was the value of it? True. Now let's say I AND it. I use the logical operator and there is another condition, a less than b. So it will be true and false. It will be false because both the conditions should be true if you want AND to be true. But if I use OR, what will happen? It will be true because any one of is true, OR will be true. So if I do not outside of this condition, not, it will reverse it. It will reverse it. So earlier it was true. This whole condition value was true. Now not will make it false, right? So it will be false, right? So I hope you got all the three logical operators. Let's move to the assignment operator, right? Assignment operators are used to assign values. So when we have learnt about variables, right, in the last video. So a is equal to 3. That single equal to is nothing but a assignment operator. That is one of the assignment operator. And one more quick thing, you might be confused right now. What was double equal to we have just now learned? It was a comparison operator. It compares the left value and the right value and it gives true or false based on that, right? So assignment operators are used to assign the values, right? So this single equal to is to assign the value. Plus equal to is add and assign. So for example, if you have a plus equal to 10, that means you are writing a is equal to a plus 10. This statement is equivalent to this. So basically you are adding and assigning. Whatever value you will give here, you are adding it and assigning. So let's say the value of a is earlier 3. So it will become 3 plus 10, 13. Similarly, minus equal to, that means a is equal to a minus whatever value you will give at the right side. Similarly, divide and assign, multiply and assign, floor divide and assign, modulus and assign, and exponent and assign. So I hope this is clear. Now let's see this with the help of an example. So 10 x is equal to 10. So it will assign the value 10. Simple. X plus equal to 5. It will become x is equal to x plus 5. What was the earlier value of x? 10. So x will become 10 plus 5, 15. Right? Similarly, x is equal to x minus 10. So earlier it was 15. 15 minus 10, 5. Similarly, x multiply equal to 2. So what if you multiply it with 2? 5 into 2, 10. 10 divided by 2, 5.0. Right? Now floor division, 5 divided by 3, it will be 1 because it will be 1 point something. Now modulus, 1 modulus 0.3, it will be 0.1, the remainder, right? So now let's learn about bitwise operators. So bitwise operators are just like the light switches, right? So you have fans and lights in your home, right? So each switch has a state like on and off. So bitwise operators are just like that. So if you use this single AND, it's nothing but bitwise AND, right? Before this, we have learnt about the logical operators. There we write the AND. This is a logical operator and this is a bitwise AND. That was a logical AND. This is a bitwise AND. If I go back and I show you, so this is a logical AND, right? This is a logical operator when you write AND, A and D. But when you use this AND, it's a bitwise AND. Similarly, this single, this is nothing but bitwise OR. This is XOR. So you might have heard about these bitwise operators earlier in maths. This is bitwise NOT. So it will reverse. this is left shift of bits, this is right shift of bits. As simple as that. Right? So if you see this, when you have 5, so x is nothing but 5. X is 5 and y is 3. If you do AND of it, right, you know the value of 5 in bitwise is this, and the value of x and y both will be this, right? So 5 is 0, 1, 0, 1 and 3 is 0, 0, 1, 1, right? If you do the AND of it, it will be this. So this is nothing but bitwise AND. It will do the bitwise operator, bitwise operation, right? On a single bit, it will do AND. So 1 and 1, it will be 1. 0 and 1, it will be 0. 1 and 0, it will be 0. 0 and 0, it will be 0. So this is nothing but AND. Similarly, OR will make it 1 and 1. If any one of them is 1, it will be 1. 1 and 0, 1. 0 and 1, 1. And 0 and 0, 0. So 0, 1, 1, 1. Right? So it's nothing but 7. 0, 1, 1, 1 is nothing but 7 because it will be 1 plus 2 plus 4. Right? So if you are not aware about the bitwise, how the bits works, right? Please go through it once. You can have a check and then you will be able to understand it better. So similarly, we have bitwise OR, bitwise OR operator, NOT operator, left shift and right shift. So left shift and right shift do nothing but they shift the bits by the number of times. So if you are doing X left shift 1, so you are shifting all the bits to left by 1. Similarly, the right shift. So these are the so if you see this how to use the bitwise operators, you should know how the bits work. So for example, if you see 1 you can write in bitwise as 0001. 2 you can write it as 0010 because it's nothing but it works like this. The initial, if you have 0010, this will be the 0th bit, this will be first bit, second bit and third bit. So whatever you are using, so it will be 2 raised to power, this is the into 0. So 2 raised to power 0 multiplied by 0. So it will be 1 into 0, 0. Similarly, this will be 2 raised to power 1, right, into 1, right, because this is the first bit. That's why 2 raised to power 1, it will be 2. Similarly, if you see this one, this is the second bit, 2 raised to power 2 into 0. So it will be 4 into 0, 0. So wherever the bit will be 0, it will not have any impact on the value. Wherever bit will be 1, it will have impact on the value based on the which bit is it. So it is the first bit, so it will be 2. So that's why the number is 2. Similarly, 0011, it will be 2 raised to power 0 into 1, it will be 1 plus 2, it will be 3. So that's why the 3 in bitwise notation is 0011. Right? So if you see how it works exactly, if you want to use the bitwise AND, it is nothing but if both the bits are 1, only then AND will be 1. Right? Similarly, OR will be if any one of the bit is 1, it will be 1. Right? So yeah, this is how it works. Now let's see the membership operators. So these operators are like checking the guest list, right? You are verifying if someone is part of the group or not. You are basically checking its membership. So for example, let's say you are into a club. If you will be a member of that club, right? Yes, you will be. If you have not joined that membership, you are not the member of it, right? So let's see how it works. So membership operators are two. One is in and one is not in. So you check, it will also return true or false. If the value will be present in the sequence, it will return true. If you are not into the sequence, it will return false. And similarly, not in will be the opposite of it, right? So not in will return true if the value is not part of the sequence. So it is slightly opposite of in, right? So if you see sample is a string. It's India, INDIA. It's a string. It's a data. Now you are saying I in sample. This is my code. I in sample. What will it return? Is I part of it? Yes. So it will return true. Z not in sample. Is Z not part of it? Yes, so it will also return true. So if we try to see this, let's say A is Newton School, and if we want to print just similar to this, where we have given this character in this, right, in A. Now whatever character we want to see, let's say we want to see new. Is new part of it? Is that part of the sequence? Yes, so it will be true, right? Now if I say net, is NET present in this complete sequence? No, so it will return false. So these are nothing but membership operators. You are seeing if that particular thing is member of that data or not, right? Now identity operators. So these operators check if the two objects are exactly the same or not, right? So for example, are these two people same, right? So there are two identity operators. One is and one is not, right? It is just like similar to in and not in, right? If is working in a way, is not will work in totally opposite, right? So these are used to compare the memory locations. So in the last video we have seen, right, in the memory our values are stored. So for example, in this memory location 5 is stored, in this memory location 10 is stored. So we are saying returns true if both variables point to the same object. So let's say there is a variable A. This is nothing but signifying this memory location, and there is value B. This is signifying this memory location. So are they same? Are they same? No. So A is B, it will return false, right? But if B will also point to the same memory location, only then it will return true. So if we see again the definition, these are to check if two objects are exactly same. So the variable should point to the same memory location, only then they are identical, right? So for example, if A is 10 and B is also 10, right? Is A is B? True. Is A is not B? It will return false because both the values are same, right? So let's explain the membership and identity, because we have just now seen both of them, right? So if we see this, Michael Phelps is an Olympian, is, right? You will say true because it's true, right? It's part of it, right? You can compare it with this example. Michael Phelps is not a swimmer, it will become false. Why? Because now is not a swimmer, because he is a swimmer, right? Now if you are saying is not a swimmer, it will be false. So it's just similar to this example, right? Now if we see not and not in, right, this is and is not, right? We have just now seen identity operators, right? We are trying to see the identity. Now Rachin Ravindra is in New Zealand cricket team, true, it's part of it. Not in Indian cricket team, that is also true, right? So basically in and not in, we are trying to see if that particular thing is part of that thing or not, right? We have a group and we have a thing, we are checking if that thing is part of that group or not, right? But in is and not is, we are trying to check its identity. We are trying to check its identity, right? So let's see this with an example. Let's say A is Newton School, B is also, let's say, Newton School. Now if I say A is B, what will it return? A is B, right? So it will return true because both are identical. Both will point to the same memory location, right? So these are again some of the memes related to Python operators. I hope you have got the idea that operators are really an important thing into programming language. So now again, it's the quiz time. Whenever you see a question, think about the solution, pause the video, and then check the solution. So what will be the output of following code? So x is 5, y is 3, x plus 5 will be 5 plus 3, 8. 8 multiplied by 2, 16. 16 greater than 15. Okay, this one is true. The first one is true. And x less than 5, 5 less than 3, false. Not of that, true. So true and true, it will be true, right? Now, what will be the result of following comparison? Are they both equal? For example, if I give you two values, 10 double equals to 10, it will become true, right? But here it is here it's a number, right? Now, are they equal? This is the assignment operator, right? So it will be false because this is acting like a number, but is it a number? No, right? Now, what will be the output of this bitwise operator? 4 and 5. If I have 4, what will be this bitwise value? What will be the bitwise value of 4? 0, 1, 0, 0. Because this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 2 raised to power 2, 4. What will be 5? 0, 1, 0, 1. Because this will be 1, 1 plus 4, 5. So if you do AND of it, it will be 0, 0, 1, 0. What is the value of it? Again 4. So yeah, now the next steps, right? Now you have learned about the operators in Python, which actually do the heavy lifting in the code, right? I hope you got the idea, because whatever calculations are happening, whatever algorithm is doing, that all is happening due to the operators, right? So let's talk about what happens when you throw a wrench in the works, right? So data types we are going to learn next, right? That will be our next topic, data types, right? So data types are not just for the code, they are literally saving the world, right? Why the data types are important? So in the world of programming, we deal with different types of data, right? We deal with numbers, which are integers. We deal with characters, A, B, C. We deal with strings, like Newton. We deal with decimal numbers, right? We deal with decimal numbers as well, right? We deal with different types of data. So while dealing with different types of data, we have different data types to work on, right? So we will be working on that, right? Without proper data types, the system will not work, because whenever we work on data, it is stored in the memory, into the memory location, right? So whenever we have different types of data, they will consume different types of memory, because it's simple as, if a slim person is going, he'll take less space, right? But if there is a fat person, right, that will take more space, right? It's as similar as that into the memory. If a data is taking less consumption, it will use less memory, right? If the data is huge, it will take large memory, right? That's where data types comes into the picture, which are actually helpful for the system to work properly, right? So yeah, we want to make your code more impactful. That's why we are introducing the thing slowly. We have learned about initially the variables, how to initialize the values, how to print statements. Now we have learned about how to work on that data as well, right? But now the data can be of different types. That's what will come into the picture, data types, what we are going to learn next. So yeah, I hope you have got how we can use the operators into the code. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.
These lessons are getting a little more challenging and exciting with each passing day. And that's exactly how you grow. Up next is one of the most important topics for your Python journey, data types. So make sure you come back strong, stay consistent, and don't forget to subscribe so you never fall behind. See you in the next one.